The movie Arrival was released on 11th of October 2017 in Russia and US. It was directed by Denis Villeneuve and it stars Jeremy Renner, Forest Whitaker, and 38-time Oscar nominee and 0-time Oscar winner Amy Adams. The themes in the movie is science fiction, drama, and mystery. When DS-12 unidentified mystery spaceships land around on Earth, and one of them in the USA, at first the military tried to communicate with the creatures, which by the way is called heptapods. When they couldn't get a conversation going, they reached out to Louis Banks, who's a linguist, and the physicist Ian Downie. They together get the job to figure out what these creatures want. Turns out that the heptapods are here to give the humans their language, which also have the power to alter time in some magical way you just have to go along with. The gift is some sort of, you'll scratch my giant hand and I'll scratch yours, that kind of type of thing, since in 3,000 years they're going to need Earth's help moving to a new world. Louise gets a vision of herself at some sort of party where the Chinese general is thanking her for stopping his attack on the spaceships. He tells her his phone number and exactly what to say. Back in the present, she plugs in all the info and then peace is restored. Ian, the male lead, tells Louise he loves her in order to justify his presence in the mission. And even though she knows he's the future father of a dead daughter named Hannah and will abandon her, she goes along with it. Louise Banks is an intelligent, patient, and determined woman, which we can see throughout the movie. For example, while the people around her are quick to go to conclusions about what the heptapods' purpose are, Louise takes a more measured approach. She tries to examine things objectively and make choices based on logic, not fear. Louise works as a linguist professor at a university, but we really don't get to know her personal life. She's single, although married at one point with Ian Downie. They get a daughter together, and the daughter's death from cancer drives the relationship apart. As she puts it, you can understand communication and still end up single. Ian Downie is a soft-spoken and intelligent man. Ian stays calm almost throughout the entire movie, even in the most unfamiliar of circumstances. He takes his work pretty seriously, but he also has some sense of humor. He's generally not the person to stir up trouble unless he has to fight for something he truly believes in.
The main themes in Arrival is communication, language, and collaboration. In the movie Arrival is language not only a tool for communication, but it actually saves the world by letting people see the future. So at first people are terrified of these creatures and think that they are here to destroy the world, but it's actually the quite opposite. The creatures are peaceful and want to help humanity because their own non-linear perception of time tells them that they will need help in thousands of years from now. There are multiple ways to communicate, and sometimes we need to be willing to try something else than oral communication in order to understand each other. Louise realized she could never be able to speak their language, if they even had a language. She couldn't form the sound they made, so she instead tried written communication, and that's where the breakthrough happened. We humans require others to communicate with us in our way, in our terms, but sometimes in order to understand something, we have to try different ways of communicating. And that's what this movie shows about communication. The other thing this movie could say about communication is that it's difficult. Sometimes even when you think you understand a word or a sentence, it could mean something else. As an example, we could use the word weapon from the movie. Our first thought is, of course, that they want to kill us or destroy us, because that's what you do with a weapon, right? But that's not what they want us to understand. They want to tell us that by understanding their way of communicating, we can see the future and use their language as a weapon or a tool. So the film shows us that just because we can translate a word doesn't guarantee that we know what they actually mean by it.